All right, First Kings chapter 7. But Solomon was built his own house 13 years, and he finished all his house. He built also the house of the forest of the Lebanon. The length therefore was an untrimmed cabinet of the bent therefore 50 cabinets, and the height there of 30 cabinet upon 4 rows of cedar pillars and cedar beams upon the pillars, and it was covered with the cedar above. Upon the beams that lay on 45 pillars, 15 in rows, and there were windows in the rows, and light was against light in 3 rows, and all their doors and posts were square, with the windows, and light was against light in 3 rocks. And he made a porch, a pillar. The length therefore was 50 cabinets, and the breadth therefore 30 cabinets, and the porch was before them, and the other pillar was, and the thick beam were before them. Then he made a porch for the throne where he might judge, even the porch of the judgment, and it was covered with the cedar from one side of the floor to another. And the house where he dwelt had another court within the porch, which was on of the like the porch which was of the like work. Solomon made also a house for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had taken to wife, like unto the porch. All these were of costly stones, according to the measure of haughty stones. Shew the shells within the without, even from the foundation unto the copies. So on the outside toward the ground, great court, and foundation was costly stones, even great stones of 10 cabinets, and stones of 8 cabinets, and above were costly stones after the measure of the howd stone and cedar. And the great court round about was with the rows of huge stones and row of cedar beams, both for the inner court of the house of the Lord, and for the people of the house. And King Solomon sent and featured him out of thy. He was a widow son of the tribe of Term, and his father was a man of Tri, a worker in brass, and he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and canning to work all the works in brass. And he came to King Solomon and wont all his work, for he cast 2 pillars of brass of 18 cabinets high apiece, and line 12 cubit did compass either them about. And he made 2 chapters of molten brass, and set upon the topic of the pillar the height of the one chapter was 5 cubit, and the height of the other chapter was 5 cubit, and knit the chicken work and wealth of chain work for the chapters which there were upon the top of the pillars, 7 for the one chapter, and 7 for the other chapter. And he made the pillars of 2 rows round, and upon the one network to cover the chapter the were upon the top of the pomegranate. And so did he for the other chapter. And the chapters that were upon the top of the pillar were of lily work in the porch 4 cabinet, and the chapters upon the 2 pillars had pomegranate also above over against the belly, which was by the net work. and the pomegranate were 200 and rows around about upon the other chapter. And he set the pillars in the porch of the temple, and he set upon the right pillar and called the name therefore Jamon, and he set up the left pillar and called the name therefore Bira, and upon the top of the pillar was lily work, so was the work of the pillar finished. And he made a molten C10 cabinet for the one brim to the other. It was round all about. His height was 5 cabinets, and a line 30 did compass it around about. And under the brim of it around about there was not compassing it 10, and the cabinet compassing the sea around, and the nopes were cast in 12, 2 rows when it was cast. It stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking toward the north, and 3 looking toward the west, and 3 looking toward the south, and 3 looking toward the east. And the sea was set above them, and all the harder part and were inwood, and it was an hand breadth thick, and the brim therefore was wrong like the brim of a cup, which the flowers of the lily, and contained 2,000 breaths, and he made continuous 2,000 had breadth, and he made 10 bases of the brass for the cabinets. Was the length of 1 brace for 1 cabinet, the breadth therefore, and 3 cubic heights of it. And the work of the brass was on the manner they had border, and the borders were between the ledge, and on the border that there between the ledge were lions or oxen chambering, and upon the ledge there was brass above, and beneath the lions and oxen were certain addition made of them works, and every base and 4 brazen wheels and pirates of brass, and there the 4 corners there of a head underneath under the lawyer, and was under others molten at the side of every addition, and the mouth of it when the chapter above was cabinet by the mouth therefore was round after the work of the base cabinet, and half, and also upon the mouth of where greaves were their border fixing not round, and under the borders were 4 wheels, and the oxentry of the wheels were joined to the base of the height of wheel of was cabinet and half cabinet. And the work of the wheels was like the work of the chariot wheels, their oxentry and their natives and their fallens and their spoke were all molten, and there were 4 under settled to the 4 corners of one base, and underneath others were of the base itself, and it topped the base was there a round compass of half a cabinet round of top off the base of the ledge. Therefore the borders therefore were of same for 1 plate of the ledge therefore, and on the border therefore be grave cherubims, lions, and palm trees, according to the proportion of every one. That addition round about after this manner he made 10 bases. All of them had 1 casting, 1 measure, and 1 size. Then made he 10 layers of brass, One layer contained 40 baths, and every layer was 4 cabinets, and upon every one of the 10 base of one layer. And he put 5 breasts on the right side of the house, and 5 on the left side of the house. And he sat in the sea on the right side of the house, eastward, over against the south. And Hemron made the layers of the shovel and the brasom, so him made he, and the doing all the work that he made King Solomon for the house of the Lord. The 2 pillars and the 2 bowls of the captains that were on top of the 2 pillars, and the 2 networks to cover the 2 bowls of the chapters which were upon the top of the pillars, and 400 pomegranates for the 2 networks, even 2 rows and pomegranate for the 1 network. It covered the 2 bowls of the chapters that were upon the pillars, and the 10 bases and the 10 layers and brace, and 1 other sea, 12 oxen under the sea, and the pots of the shovels, and the basin, and all the vessels which Hiram made the King Solomon for the house of the Lord were of bright brass. In the plain of Jordan did the king cast them in the city, clay ground between Sokron and Zar. And Solomon left the vessel upright, because they were exceeding many, neither were the weight of the brass found. And Solomon made all the vessels that pertain unto house of the Lord, and the altar of the gold, and treble table of gold, wherein the stormbread, and the cabinet candlesticks of the pure gold, 5 on the right side, and 5 on the left, before the article with flowers, and the lamps of the tongues of gold, and the bowls, and the suffering, and the brasom, and the spoons, and the Caesars of the pure gold, and the huge of gold, both for the doors of the inner house, and the most holy place for the doors of the house, to wit the temple. So was ended all the work the King Solomon made for house of the Lord. And Solomon brought in the bright things which David his father had decided, even the silver and the gold, and the vessel did he put among the treasure of the house of the Lord.